Good morning. So we were taught by one of our members to read this last week's Parashat Vayishlach, Rabbi Dahan's newsletter. Let's see what it says. It says, warning, it is of extreme importance to not subject the Avot HaKadoshim to our very basic knowledge. Right? Obviously, the Avot HaKadoshim were light years beyond anything we can fathom. Nevertheless, the Torah records the actions of our Avot for the purpose of learning from them in our limited capacity. Meaning, he's saying that a lot of times people say, oh, David HaMelech sinned, oh, Yaakov did this, oh, Yitzchak did that, oh, Avram did that. He said, listen, with our limited minds, we should not make conclusions that we don't understand what it is. So therefore, he's going to explain for our limited minds what went on in this last week's parasha. It says, nevertheless, the Torah records the actions of our Avot for the purpose of learning from them in our limited capacity. The following idea, written by the renowned Talmid Chacham of Eretz Israel, Rav Yonatan Shraga Dom Shlita, should be viewed in this light. He says, and where was Dina? She was placed in a large box and locked inside so that Esav would not set his eyes on her. Therefore, Yaakov was punished, for he kept her from his brother. Perhaps she could have turned him to a righteous person, and instead she fell into the hands of Shechem. Yeah, many people say that why did Yaakov do this? Yeah, because Esav would marry her. Okay, so what? Maybe she should have changed Esav, right? And for this, they said that Yaakov got punished, and she ended up being taken by Shechem and was raped, chas v'shalom. Yeah? There are three questions here. Number one, someone who has an evil brother, should he marry his daughter to him for the remote chance that she might bring him to repentance? Question number one. Therefore, especially when she is only 6 years old, as Dina was, as the Baalei HaTosafot, Moshav, Zekanim ask. He says, the Otzer Hayim, on Parashat Vayishlach, by Rav Chaim Rappaport, at the end of the Mayan Hayim, he writes sharply, it is very difficult in my eyes why Yaakov was punished for preventing Dina from his brother. He says, it's difficult for me to understand. It is stated in the Shulchan Aruch, Even Haezer, Siman 50, section 5. And if the Hatan, the future groom, has corrupted his deeds, the Kala, the future bride, can withdraw during the engagement process. Which means they got engaged, everything looks good, all of a sudden the Hatan is, he's going off the derech a little bit. He says, the Kala say, you know what, I don't want to get married. And if so, all the more so, if they have already been engaged, she can withdraw if the Hatan has corrupted his deeds. If they are not yet engaged, it is not logical that she should not give his daughter. I'm sorry, is it not logical that he should not have his daughter? And if so, why was Yaakov punished? Yeah, he's saying, we wouldn't give to this guy that's off the derech. Exactly. Why should Yaakov have given her Dina to Esav? Similarly, the author of Slabotka wrote in Or Hatzafon, part 1, page 203. He says, the sages said in Psachim 49b, whoever marries his daughter to an ignorant man, it's as if he binds her and places her before a lion. All the more so to a wicked person, not just a wicked person, but Esav, who was exceptionally wicked. Moreover, just as he must do kindness with his brother, he must do kindness with his daughter, and not bind her before such a lion. The Gemara says anybody who gives his daughter to a ignoramus, a person who is devoid of Torah, it's as if he put her around the thing, tied her up, in the lion's den for them to eat her.
No, it's better to put it in front
of sorry, right. Meaning, yeah. Number two, additionally, why is it different than Leah? As it is said that the deeds of Esav were despised in her eyes, and scripture mentions her for praise, not wanting to marry this evil man, and she was not punished, even though she might have turned him to a righteous person. Why then was Yaakov punished? Yeah, as by the Nahalat Yaakov, a student of the Rama on Rashi above. So he said, we don't get it. Leah, she cried, thinking, oh my God, I'm the older. Esav is the older. They might marry me to him. And therefore she was praised for not wanting to marry this Rasha, right? But over here, Yaakov is being punished. Let's see. Third question, additionally, if Yaakov wanted Esav to set his eyes on Dina, then it would suffice to put her in a box. Why did he need to lock it? If he feared that Esav would search and open every box, surely he would also break this box. Yeah? What's the point of locking it? Good. The answer seems to be that he locked it so Dina would not come out. Meaning, Yaakov did not trust her and feared she might want to go out and marry Esav. Oh, thus there was the act of putting her in the box so Esav would not see her and locking her inside so she would not want to come out. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so you heard the three questions. Let's just finish this. And this was Yaakov's mistake. Because when you do not trust a person and make it known to them that you do not trust them, you destroy their self-confidence. If you lock and close them up so they do not come out, you make them want to break out and escape. This was the case with Dina, who Yaakov did not trust, perhaps because he recognized in her the tendency of her mother Leah. Why? Instead of strengthening Dina, he showed her that he believed she did not have the strength to fight against her traits, and so he locked her up. Why? Hear what he says. He says over here that you know what was his punishment? Not that he hid her from Esav, because Leah also didn't want to marry him. Not that he didn't want to give her to him, because it's right not to give. The Shulchan Aruch says, don't give it to them. Give it to the lion, don't give it to him. And it's not that he put her in a box. You put her in a box, good, you did good, you didn't do bad. It's that you locked her. And he wasn't afraid of Esav, because what is Esav going to do? If he wants her, he breaks the lock and he opens it. But she cannot get out. Meaning he said, I don't want her to get out. You hear? Meaning he didn't trust his daughter as far as maybe she's going to come out and he's going to marry her. This is a fundamental. Well, let's just finish this because it's only one more paragraph. He says, in the end, Dina did leave the box to go to the city of Shechem, and the prince named Shechem seized her, violated her against her will. She had already lost her self-confidence when her father locked her in a box and did not trust her. It became a bit more possible for her to choose the wrong approach. This assault by Shechem, aside from the issue of forbidden relations, was a demeaning of Dina's inherent value and importance. On the very subtle level, Yaakov was guilty of his critique and was therefore punished based on his holy level accordingly. From this we learn an important principle in the education of our children. We must be extremely conscious to not harm their self-confidence, but to encourage and nurture it. Yeah? Meaning, very important lesson over here. Yeah. Not only self-esteem. A lot of times, we take our children for granted. In which way? We do not... Right. How do you say that in English? Right. Instead of praising them and their inability to do something and be able to fix that ability, we degrade them. You see, sometimes not directly. You see, he didn't tell her, no, you like this. No. The fact that he locked her up, she understood he doesn't trust me. You hear? And because he doesn't trust me, the moment he gave her the opportunity to be able to walk away, because what is he going to do? Lock the doors? She went outside and she wanted to explore the world. And by exploring the world, she came to this guy Shechem, you hear? And he violated her. Why? Because he didn't build up her self-esteem. Yeah. Many times we have children that are a little bit difficult. Really, from the beginning, as a child, as a young child, we have to uplift this child. Sometimes the child has tendencies to be a very active child, yeah? We cannot tell him, oh, you this, oh, you that. No. You have to take that activity and you have to make something of it. You have to get him busy. You have to show him things. Maybe let him build things. You understand? Meaning, what do? We try to quell it. We try to say, oh, Zamalchi, be quiet, don't sit calm. He cannot. That is his nature. You understand? And therefore we have to, but unfortunately we're busy. We have work, we have this, we have our own desires that we have to fulfill because of whatever we have, yeah? So therefore we neglect this child, and what happens? The neglect causes X, Y, Z, whatever that is. Exactly. And the very big lesson that, thanks to Rabbi Akilov, he pointed out to us, for all those who are having kids, for all those who have young kids, yeah? They have to take, kids are not kids. They are neshamot with tremendous brains. We see from a young child that's 8 months old, 9 months old, who doesn't even know how to speak. Yeah, they are seeing everything, meaning they know exactly what's going on. They know who's coming in, who's coming out. They know faces. They know reactions on a face. Yeah, a lot of times people, they say, when I come to my grandchild, the minute I look at him, he starts smiling. So people ask me, my kids like, why are you always smiling at you when you come in? I said, you know why? Because when I see him, I always go like this, hey, what's good? Hey. I smile to him. So therefore, what happens? It's called Pavlov's dog. Pavlov was a scientist in Russia. Yeah, he wanted to test dogs. How? And this is a very big concept. I learned it in college. But he said like this. He used to say, ding, 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 and he used to put food to them. Ding, 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 food to them. You remember Pavlov's song? Ding, light also. Ding, light, whatever. Any stimulus. And then what he did? Ding, 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 and no food.
No food.
All of a sudden he sees what? The juices, salivating. The dog wants to eat. And what did he do? On priuchil. How do you say priuchil in English? He trained them. And this way we can train anyone. You hear? To be in a certain way. So therefore, if you want to uplift somebody's mood, you constantly have to give, hey, how are you? This first time, second time, third time, fourth time, yeah? Eventually it's what? It's going to catch up to the individual. You hear? So therefore, so it's such a big thing. We're losing our kids, unfortunately. We're losing our kids by the hundreds. Yeah, but Bezat Hashem. We're losing our kids by the hundreds. Why? Because we're not investing in them. We have to invest in our kids. We spend so much money on them, right? Bringing them up, putting them in school, this and that. And then what happens? They come at age 20, 21, 22, and they are lifeless, right? Not all of them, but many of them are lifeless. They don't know how to function in the real world. We haven't built up their confidence in order for them to be able to be fully, working human beings. Some of these people you see, you get scared. Mamish, you get scared. And in order to what's called, what do you call that mechanism? Survival mechanism, right? For them not to, they do very, very bad things. Why? Because that's the only way they get attention. You hear? If they don't get attention from niceness, how are you? How was school? Let's go out, have a little ice cream, whatever. Little things like this is a humongous thing for them. Yeah? One time you take them once a month to ice cream personally, right? They will never forget that. Wow, my parents, they unfortunately, you know what parents think? They don't need that. You think they really got? Yes. I remember somehow I heard one of the rabbi's speeches that you have to have personal time with your children. I said, personal time with the children? Yes. I said, I have 5 kids I have. Oh, personal time, each one. No. Every week or, whatever, 5 minutes, believe it or not, I did it maybe 3 times. Till this day, if you ask my kids, you always used to take us, I was like, imagine 3 times, maybe 4, max. I don't remember doing it more than 4 times. You hear? And what's interesting is, I didn't know where to go. So we have this one area, right, where it's an area to go down to the basement. So there's a little 2x2 area, bathroom here, and then stairs. So we used to close the door and we used to sit there. I used to sit on the floor. My daughter, Bezat Hashem, she's getting married soon, 23 years old. We just had a couple of weeks ago, we had a conversation over there. She goes, oh, remember we used to always be here? Always be here. We only did it maybe 2-3 times. But it was such a powerful, powerful connection that it will never be forgotten. And therefore, Bezat Shem, they will do it to their kids. You hear? So these little things, they're very little, but they're very powerful that the child remembers. And this is the connection that the child will have to you. If you don't build that connection, guess what? They have to find the connection outside. And that's why when they find the connection outside, that guy's a weed guy, she's a guy. Exactly. Then there's no more connection to the family because there was never connection there. And therefore they connect. The connection is outside. And that's why all they want to do is what? I want to go outside. I want to go outside. I want to go outside. I don't want to be home. I want to go outside. I want to be because outside is the connection.
If you're talking about connection right now.
Yes.
For example, for me it was connection that I used to take my kids for some sporting events.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Rabbi's against this.
No. Again, Rabbi's not against this. Rabbi's not against this. You're talking about going to watching. You're going about watching baseball and things like that. Yeah. Okay. All the rabbi said is that that's not the lechatchila, the first connection to make. For instance, child doesn't know anything, right? To take him now to a baseball game, that's not the best connection you want to do. It's not the best. Yes, in our times when we didn't learn Torah, that's all we knew. So, okay, but now that we do learn Torah, like let's say he's going to get married, it wouldn't be the best thing to take him to the best baseball game. Take him nice to many other options, you understand? Kosher options. Because what happens is they get caught up in that, and you know what they're going to do? All day baseball YouTube. I know kids all day they're watching basketball. Why? Because exactly. It becomes an addiction. You want them to be addicted to Torah and to Torah-dic things and not to goyish things, because at the end of the day, this will come back to haunt you. Because
Still better than smoking.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But there is a connection. Nice ice cream shop. Sit down. Nice books. Believe it or not, kids are very into books. We don't know that, but they're. I see this library over here. I don't know what goes on in here. There's a kids' library right here. I don't know what goes on. But in Bet Gabriel, the first thing that the kids do, they go straight to the library. We have the kids, and they open it. Ones that read, don't read, whatever. Pictures. Why not do that with your child? You hear? At the 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 5 minutes. Come, Janima, I'm gonna, a little bit. We don't do that. We think that's a given. Correct? But we don't do that. You understand? People don't realize that that's what a child needs. We are growing a plant, right? A plant. If you don't water the plant, if you don't give the plant light, if you don't put it in an environment that's conducive to the plant, guess what? The plant is not going to grow. Same thing with the child. You have to water it, talk to it, give it nurturing. You have to put an environment that it needs to be in. Yeah, go play soccer with him. Go walk with him. Do something with him. You hear? If you're not going to do that, the plant is not going to survive. It's going to shrivel. And in human terms, the shriveling is what's going to, he's going to find an environment that's good for him. And sometimes the good environment for him is not a good environment. But for him, it's a good environment because there's a stimulus for him. He found the stimulus that is able to connect with. You understand? That's why it's very important. He said a powerful thing. Now, we all read this Yakov Avinu story and we said, what? Yeah, he hid him from her, this, that. No, but the whole point was the locking mechanism. Wow, unbelievable. He did the right thing, but he didn't do the right thing for her. He didn't trust her enough. Should have maybe spoken to her, shown to her what's right or wrong. It works. It's just that we unfortunately don't do it. The other day, about 2-3 months ago, unfortunately, she doesn't have a father figure. For the father passed away, whatever. But I was going to Nets Minyan, and it was the early Nets. So I was walking around 5:45 in the morning. All of a sudden, I see a girl in front of me on 108 Street, but I didn't see who the girl was. And she had a cigarette in her hands. Yeah, 5:45 in the morning. Imagine. So as I'm getting closer, I see it's a Bukharian girl that I know that supposedly keeps Shabbat. Whatever. I see her in shul, whatever, But some kind of probably like a mental stress, at 5:45 in the morning, she's out there. It looks like she was listening to music because she was like dancing, whatever. But, these kind of things, that you think her mother knows? She probably didn't even know she was out. It was 5:45 in the morning. You understand? She probably just snuck out now, just wanted to relax. You hear? We have to be very careful at the needs of our children. We as parents have to predvidit. How do you say that? Foresee that certain children need a little bit of more attention emotionally. You understand? Unfortunately, we blind eye ourselves. We blind eye ourselves because we either don't know how to give him emotional attention, therefore we need to seek professional help because it's very important. But we're afraid to do that. Why? What are people going to say? You understand? But you're leaving this child in an environment where the poor child can, God forbid, become worse if the problem is not fixed. You understand? So we blind our eyes thinking, no, as long as I don't see, it's not going to be a problem. Correct? But it is a problem. So we must foresee, or at least see that which child needs a little bit more affection. In Bet Gavril, I meet a lot of children. And I see, I don't know how, but the parents don't even see that the child doesn't smile or laugh. I don't know how they don't see that. And I see that the parent a little bit is also like that. What do? It's my mission, and a lot of people think I'm a little weird. Like, what are you, you're into kids or something like that? No, I'm not into kids. I love kids, but in a kid's way, yeah? I engage them to the point that I've never seen the guy smile, or the girls, I don't know, but the guys, every time he sees me, he smiles. Hey, what's up, man? Sometimes they treat me like one of their buddies, you know what I mean? And people say, why are you doing that to you? I said, no, don't worry. He said, you need to take the child out of his skarlupka, out of his shell. Very important. Very important. Some children have a harder shell than others. And it's very important to bring that child out of the shell. How? That's another story. But at least know that that's a mission that you have to do. You understand? Many times what I say, no, he's like that. What do you mean he's like that? Yeah, I know he's like that. But you got to find, and don't get me wrong, it's not easy. It's not easy it's not like no. You try this way, you try that way, you try another way, you try this way, you try give him this, you try that, somehow, and then when you find that little opening, that's the opening you have to nurture. That's the opening you have to, slowly push away and get it out and whatever. I'm going to say it, but Rav Israel's son, Rav Israel Yakov's son, he didn't want to get up to the bima at all. I started this whole singing for Shabbat. Nothing. He was, I don't know, shy, whatever it was. Nothing. At the time I was in a pizzeria, and he loved Big Ziti. So I said to him, you go up, Big Ziti on me. No. And every week I was like, Big Ziti, delicious. I said, you gotta get up, Big Ziti on me. Like this, one day he got up. And what did I do? I gave Big Ziti. That one Big Ziti, won over this kid. And now, after that, slowly started. And he was, why? Because it's that breakthrough. Also, kids were there. I personally said, listen, $20 if you get up, do this. Yes, no. They got up. They did it. $20. And what happened? From that time, their confidence. Meaning, these little things, it's just completely out of the parents' mind. Why should I pay my child? Yes, Rambam says pay. If he's going to be able to do a mitzvah or whatever, pay. You're not, but I guarantee you're not going to do it forever. Once or twice, and then they're going to want to do it themselves. You have to bring them out through some method of theirs. And once you did that, you'll be able they'll be able to function like a normal child, unless there's some kind of mental issues, and that's already not in our hands. But the majority of the children, they just need to be, nurtured out of their shell. Yeah. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.